It always starts with the stories, doesn't it? They travel through other people's mouths and arrive at your ears, distorted and sharp. You heard he was doing great. More than great, he was thriving. To his friends, he was the hero of his own story, the man who had effortlessly shed a relationship and emerged stronger, freer. He would laugh, they said, a big, confident laugh, as he told them breaking up was the best decision he'd ever made. He'd joke about the chains of commitment and celebrate his newfound freedom, painting a picture of a man unburdened and victorious. And you had to listen to all of this from a distance. Every relayed joke, every boastful comment felt like a deliberate act of cruelty. The pain was no longer just about the ending. It was about the denial that you had ever mattered. He was performing for an audience, and his script required erasing you completely. The years you built together, the quiet moments, the shared dreams, all of it was reduced to nothing, a minor inconvenience he was glad to be rid of. His arrogance wasn't strength. It was a weapon he used to protect his own ego, and it cut you deeply, making you feel insignificant in a story you once co-wrote. But life has a way of keeping score. The arrogance he wore like a shield in public began to rust in private. The mask he held up for the world grew too heavy when no one was watching, and slowly, the performance began to crack. The stories that reached you started to change. People who saw him now would mention that something was off. His laugh, once so loud and confident, didn't reach his eyes anymore. They described a vacant, distant look, as if he were staring at something far away that only he could see. He looked tired, thinner in the face, with dark circles that spoke of sleepless nights. The proud posture was gone. His shoulders were slightly hunched, as if carrying a weight he refused to name. The man who boasted of his strength now looked fragile, consumed from the inside out. His home, once a stage for his new freedom, became just four walls echoing his own silence. And then, when the solitude became unbearable, it happened. A message on your phone, an unexpected call. His voice was different. The arrogant edge was gone, replaced by something hollow and tired. It was the voice of someone searching for a lifeline. He didn't ask to get back together. His pride wouldn't allow it. He asked to talk, to grab a coffee, a vague invitation to test the waters, to seek refuge in the one place he was ever truly seen. But you, standing in the quiet peace you fought so hard to rebuild, saw it for what it was. He wasn't looking for you. He was looking for an escape from himself. And with a serenity that surprised even you, the answer came easily. A calm, firm no. It wasn't born of spite or a desire for revenge, but of wisdom. You learned that your peace is non-negotiable. Some doors, once closed, must stay that way to protect the life you've so carefully grown within yourself. Look, let's talk about what happened, because his mistake wasn't just ending things. His real, profound error was the choice he made immediately after. He chose performance over truth. He decided that the best way to deal with the end of your story was to publicly erase it, to stand in front of his friends and act like you were a footnote he was glad to be rid of. He thought that by turning your history into a joke, by boasting about his newfound freedom, he was winning. He believed that if he said it loud enough and often enough, his own lie would become his reality. That was the decision that sealed his fate, not the breakup itself, but the arrogant, hollow spectacle he created to protect his own ego. He chose to build his new identity on a foundation of disrespect, thinking it would make him strong. But a house built on such ground can never stand. The man you hear about now, the one with the vacant eyes and the shoulders hunched by an invisible weight, is the inevitable result of that choice. The energy it took to maintain that lie has burned him out from the inside out. The solitude he feels isn't a random misfortune. It's the harvest he sowed. He wanted an audience more than he wanted a partner, and now the audience has gone home, leaving him alone with the silence. So when he finally reached out, it wasn't about you. It was about him. He wasn't seeking forgiveness. He was seeking refuge from the consequences of his own decision. He was looking for the one place he was ever seen without the mask, hoping it could save him from himself. Your calm, firm no wasn't punishment. It was the final, quiet truth. It was the acknowledgement that he made his choice a long time ago, and you are no longer the remedy for his regrets. But a performance built on a lie has an inevitable ending. The curtain falls, and you're left alone on an empty stage. The indifference and pride he paraded in public, he is now harvesting in private, in absolute solitude. The mask he wore for the world has grown too heavy to hold up when no one is watching. The stories that reach you now are different.
People who see him mention that something is off. They describe a laugh that doesn't reach his eyes anymore, leaving them with a vacant, far-off look. He seems worn down, a little thinner in the face, with dark circles beneath his eyes that betray sleepless nights.
The arrogant posture you remember is gone. His shoulders are slightly hunched now, as if he's carrying an invisible weight. The man who boasted of his strength now looks fragile, eaten up from the inside. His house, once the stage for his celebrated freedom, has become just four walls that echo his own silence back at him. And then, when the solitude he created becomes unbearable, it happens. A message on your phone, an unexpected call. His voice is different. The arrogant edge you remember is gone, replaced by something hollow and tired. It's the voice of someone searching for a lifeline. He doesn't ask to get back together. His pride would never allow it. He asks to talk, to grab a coffee, a vague invitation designed to test the waters, to seek refuge in the one place he was ever truly seen. But you, standing in the quiet peace you fought so hard to rebuild, see it for what it truly is. He isn't looking for you, he's looking for an escape from himself. And with a serenity that surprises even you, the answer comes easily. A calm, firm no. It isn't born of spite or a desire for revenge, but of wisdom. You learn that your peace is non-negotiable. Some doors, once closed, must stay that way to protect the life you've so carefully grown within yourself. Let's be clear about what happened, because his mistake wasn't just ending things. His real, profound error was the choice he made immediately after. He chose performance over truth. He decided that the best way to deal with the end of your story was to publicly erase it, to stand in front of his friends and act like you were a footnote he was glad to be rid of. He thought that by turning your history into a joke, by boasting about his new freedom, he was winning. He believed that if he said it loud enough and often enough, his own lie would become his reality. That was the decision that sealed his fate, not the breakup itself, but the arrogant, hollow spectacle he created to protect his own ego. He chose to build his new identity on a foundation of disrespect, thinking it would make him strong. But a house built on such ground can never stand. The man you hear about now, the one with the vacant eyes and the shoulders hunched by an invisible weight, is the inevitable result of that choice. The energy it took to maintain that lie has burned him out from the inside. The solitude he feels isn't a random misfortune, it's the harvest he sowed. He wanted an audience more than he wanted a partner, and now the audience has gone home, leaving him alone with the silence. So when he finally reached out, it wasn't about you, it was about him. He wasn't seeking forgiveness, he was seeking refuge from the consequences of his own decision. He was looking for the one place he was ever seen without the mask, hoping it could save him from himself. Your calm, firm no wasn't punishment, it was the final, quiet truth. It was the acknowledgement that he made his choice a long time ago, and you are no longer the remedy for his regrets. He must now learn to sit in the empty house he built. Let's talk about the signs, because they are always there if you know where to look. They are the cracks that appear in the facade he built. You hear about his face first. It's not just tired, there's a hollowness to it now. The arrogant spark in his eyes has been replaced by a dull, constant exhaustion. People say he tries to smile, but it's a quick, tight gesture that never reaches his eyes, making his expression look more like a grimace. It's the face of a man at war with his own thoughts, and he is losing. Then there's his behavior. He has become evasive, a ghost in his own social circles. He shows up late and leaves early. When conversations turn even slightly personal, he becomes restless, checking his phone for notifications that aren't there, or suddenly remembering an urgent task. He avoids quiet moments with people. He can't stand the silence because it gives his own emptiness room to breathe. He's constantly in motion, not because he has anywhere to go, but because he's running from the stillness within himself. And finally, there's the environment he created. The freedom he boasted about has revealed itself to be a cold, sterile solitude. His apartment, which was once the backdrop for his performance of a happy, unburdened life, is now just a place. It's clean, it's modern, but it lacks warmth. It's the home of someone who doesn't know how to live there. The silence he once called peace now has a weight to it. It's the heavy, oppressive silence of a life built on a lie, where the only thing that echoes off the walls is the profound sense of his own absence. And now
you look towards the future, not with the frantic hope of someone escaping a painful past, but with the quiet calm of someone who has finally arrived home within herself. His story will continue, of course, but it will no longer run parallel to yours. It will fade into the distance, a muffled sound from a life you no longer inhabit. You might hear about him from time to time. You'll hear that he is trying to piece things together, perhaps dating someone new. But you will notice a fundamental change in how you receive this news. It will no longer be a sting or a victory. It will be just information, as neutral as hearing about the weather in a distant city. You will feel no bitterness, no triumph, only a quiet, detached acknowledgement that he is on his own path, a path he must walk alone.
The emotional charge will be gone because you have taken your power back. His real journey is just beginning. He must now do the work he so arrogantly avoided. He has to sit in the silence and confront the man who was so afraid of being alone that he burned a bridge just to create a spectacle. He has to learn to build a life on something real, not on the applause of an audience that has long since gone home. It will be a hard, unglamorous road, and he will have to walk it without the validation he once craved. But your future? It is already here. It's in the small things, the way you enjoy your own company, the genuine laughter you share with people who value you, the solid ground you feel beneath your feet. You have learned that the most profound strength isn't loud. It's the quiet integrity of choosing yourself, especially when no one is watching. Your peace is no longer a fragile thing you must protect. It is the very air you breathe, and you will never again allow anyone to poison it. Let's talk about the choice he made, because the breakup was just the beginning. His real mistake was the performance that followed. He stood before his friends and declared his freedom, turning your shared history into a punchline. He bragged that ending things was the best decision he'd ever made, and every word that got back to you was a calculated act of erasure. The pain wasn't just that it was over, it was that he was trying to convince the world and himself that you never mattered at all. He built his new identity on the rubble of your dignity, thinking arrogance would pass for strength. But a foundation built on disrespect will always crumble. The energy it takes to maintain such a lie eventually burns you out from the inside. The pride he wore like armor in public is what he's now choking on in private. The stories you hear now are different. They speak of a man haunted by a profound emptiness. His laugh, they say, is just a sound now. It never reaches his eyes, leaving them vacant and distant. He looks worn down, thinner, with the kind of dark circles that come from wrestling with your own thoughts all night. His posture has collapsed, his shoulders hunched as if carrying a weight no one can see. The man who boasted about his strength now looks fragile. His home, once the stage for his victory tour, has become a silent echo chamber for his solitude. Then, inevitably, when the silence becomes too loud to bear, your phone lights up. A text, a call. The voice on the other end is unrecognizable. The arrogant edge is gone, replaced by a hollow, tired tone. It's the sound of a man looking for a lifeline. He won't ask for you back. His pride is the last thing he has left. Instead, he'll ask to talk or grab coffee, a desperate attempt to seek refuge in the only place he was ever seen without the mask. But you are no longer that refuge. You are standing in the quiet peace you fought so hard to build for yourself, and you see his request for what it is, an escape from the consequences of his own choices. And with a calm that feels like it was earned, not given, the answer forms easily. A simple, firm no. It isn't an act of revenge. It's an act of wisdom. It's the final acknowledgement that your peace is non-negotiable. You've learned that some doors must remain closed, not to keep others out, but to protect the life you have so carefully grown within. And then the moment will come. It won't be loud or dramatic, but quiet and inevitable, like the turning of a page at the end of a long chapter. It will arrive as a notification on your screen, a ghost from a life you've already mourned. His name will appear, and the words will be carefully chosen, crafted to sound casual, to hide the desperation that fuels them. Hey, was just thinking about you. We should grab coffee and catch up. It's a vague invitation, a test to see if the door you closed is still unlocked. He's not asking for forgiveness. His pride would never allow it.
He is searching for a refuge from the silence of the world he built for himself, hoping to find warmth in the ashes of the bridge he so arrogantly burned. And as you read those words, you will wait for the old sting, the familiar ache of a wound not quite healed. But it won't come. Instead, a profound stillness will settle over you. You won't see the man you once loved. You will see the hollowed-out performer, the one with the vacant eyes and the shoulders hunched by an invisible weight. You will see his message not as an opportunity, but as an intrusion, an attempt to draw energy from a well he himself poisoned. You will realize, with a clarity that is both calm and absolute, that he is not looking for you. He is looking for an escape from himself. And your peace, the quiet strength you fought so hard to cultivate in his absence, is not for him to borrow. It is not a shelter from the storm he created. In that moment, the final tie doesn't break with a snap. It simply dissolves. The decision is no longer a struggle. It is a simple truth. You will type a response, or perhaps you will type nothing at all, but the boundary will be drawn, clean and final. You are no longer the remedy for his regrets. You will put your phone down, and a breath you didn't realize you were holding will finally escape your lungs. It is the exhale of a story that has at long last found its end. I am free.